evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lumpim Vishum. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 13th of April. Prime Minister Modi bats for his Make in India campaign at Hannover Messe. Jamaat observed shutdown in Bangladesh to protest Kamaruzzaman's hanging. And Pakistan court sets 2-month deadline for completion of 2611 trial. And now for all the details. Prime Minister Narendra Modi pushed to revitalize India's economy, seeking his country to become an engine for worldwide growth. He also desired for a mutually beneficial partnership with Germany. Here is a report.
Hard selling his country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled his flagship campaign Make in India in Germany on Monday. He said his government under its Act East policy aims at turning India into a manufacturing hub and a transit point between the East and West, making it a base for global exports. Prime Minister Modi also pledged for a stable and transparent tax regime. He further wooed global investors and sought worldwide support to achieve the objective.
Demography, democracy and demand वे पूरे विश्व को आकर्षित कर रही है। सभी प्रकार की इंटरनेशनल एजेंसी ने यह माना है कि आज विश्व में तेज गति से आर्थिक प्रगति करने वाला देश हिंदुस्तान है। लो कॉस्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, efficient governance, zero defect, zero effect manufacturing, global market के लिए भारत मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब बनने की पूरी ताकत रखता है।
Prime Minister Modi asserted that New Delhi wanted a mutually beneficial partnership with Berlin. He said India's development would depend on inclusive growth that took all its citizens together.
As I have traveled around the world, I've seen a new level of interest in building partnership of trade, investment, and innovation in India. It mirrors the surge of hope in our own people and industry, the new tide of expectation in our 800 million youth for opportunities and progress.
Prime Minister Modi, currently in Germany on the second leg of his three-nation tour, had on Sunday inaugurated the Hannover Messe Fair with Chancellor Angela Merkel. India is the official partner country in the world's largest trade fair. He further held a roundtable meeting with German CEOs and inaugurated a bust of Mahatma Gandhi, apart from meeting Indian students there. Prime Minister Modi had over the weekend also wrapped his Paris trip. In a dramatic turnaround to protracted negotiations on the French Rafale deal, he announced that India would now be buying 36 Rafale jets in a flyaway condition from France as soon as possible. New Delhi also signed 20 agreements with Paris, ranging from space technology to nuclear energy. France on its side decided to invest €2 billion in India. Modi's visit to France was focused on seeking investments and innovation for the Indian industry from French majors. The Indian Prime Minister, after wrapping his German visit, will head to Canada for the last leg of his 8-day tour.
Pakistan has said it is closely monitoring the situation in Bangladesh following the execution of Jamaat-e-Islami leader Mohammad Kamaruzzaman. The pro-Pakistan leader was hanged late on Saturday for war crimes committed during Bangladesh's 1971 liberation war.
Pakistan Foreign Ministry said it is carefully monitoring the situation following the execution of the Islamist leader over the weekend in a Dhaka prison. However, unlike previous instances, Islamabad has this time not condemned the hanging of a war convict in Bangladesh. The execution of another war criminal, Abdul Qadir Mullah, last year had raised sharp protests in Pakistan, including the parliament passing a resolution against it. Kamaruzzaman, whose Al-Badr militia found alongside Pakistan in 1971, was executed amid heightened security late on Saturday after his appeal was rejected by the Supreme Court last week and he failed to seek presidential clemency. He was allowed to meet family for the last time earlier in the day. Bangladeshi civil society and activists who have been for long demanding the execution of Kamaruzzaman said they welcome his hanging.
মানবতা বিরোধী মামলায় মৃত্যুদণ্ডপ্রাপ্ত ফাঁসির আসামি কামরুজ্জামানের মৃত্যুদণ্ড রায় কার্যকর হওয়াতে বাংলার স্বাধীনতাকামী মানুষ আজকে স্বস্তি এবং উল্লাস প্রকাশ করছে আমরা সবাই আজকে উল্লাস প্রকাশ করছি
The Jamaat called for a shutdown in the country to protest the hanging of its leader. At least 5 people were injured when Jamaat supporters torched a passenger bus in Ghazipur on Monday. Isolated incidents of violence were also reported from other parts of the country. 63-year-old Kamaruzzaman was convicted to death in 2013 by the International War Crimes Tribunal for committing crimes against humanity during the Liberation War of Bangladesh. He is the second leader of the country's largest Islamist party to be executed for war crimes. More than a dozen leaders of the party are also on death row for the same.
Pakistan Interior Minister Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan has criticized United Arab Emirates for condemning a Pakistan Parliament resolution against sending combat troops to Yemen. This comes even as Saudi Religion Affairs Minister is in Pakistan to persuade the government to change its decision.
Interior Minister Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan accused UAE Foreign Minister Anwar Gargash of levelling threats against Pakistan after it refused to join the war in Yemen. Gargash had on Sunday said that the decision of Islamabad was contradictory, dangerous, unexpected, and it would come at a high cost. Saudi Minister for Religious Affairs, who is in Pakistan to hold talks with the country's leadership, however expressed confidence that Islamabad will stand with Riyadh at the time of need.
هذه شؤون خاصة بالباكستان ولكن احنا دائما نطمع أن يكون باكستان مع المملكة العربية السعودية في كل الظروف وفي جميع الأحوال مع المملكة السعودية لأن المملكة العربية السعودية هي بلد الحرمين الشريفين وباكستان هي ثاني أكبر دولة إسلامية من حيث عدد السكان وما بيننا وبين باكستان هو في القمة دائما.
The decision had also invited heavy criticism from many Sunni radical outfits from Pakistan. They held a demonstration in capital Islamabad denouncing the parliament's decision.
पाकिस्तान के गयूर मुसलमानों आज हमने फैसला देना है हमने इन हुक्मरानों के फैसलों को नहीं मानना मानेंगे इन्होंने कहा कि जब खतरा होगा हम कहते हैं कि आज खतरा है हम कहते हैं वो उनकी बार्डरों के अंदर घुसकर वो आज अदन की बंदरगाह पर काबिज हो चुके हैं सऊदीया खतरे में है.
In what was seen as an unexpected move, Pakistan Parliament on Friday passed a unanimous resolution rejecting Saudi Arabia's request for combat assistance in Yemen. Saudi, which has close economic and religious ties with Pakistan, had sought both troops and weapons for the war. Riyadh, which last year granted a $1.5 billion loan to Islamabad, had also sheltered Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif for nearly a decade following his ouster from power in military coup in 1999. Other Gulf countries, including the UAE, also have large investments in Pakistan. An estimated 1.4 million Pakistanis also work in various Gulf countries, sending billions of foreign remittance every year.
A Pakistani court on Monday set a 2-month time frame to complete the trial of 26/11 Mumbai attacks case. The Islamabad High Court also warned that Zakiur Rahman Lakhvi, the mastermind of the attack who was released on Friday, could be arrested if the trial is not completed on the stipulated time. This comes days after India marked its strong protests against the release of the dreaded militant. Even though Lakhvi and 6 others were arrested in December 2008 in connection with the attack, little progress has been made in the trial. The court proceedings have also many times been stalled through the years due to security threats to judicial officials hearing the case. Pakistan police has filed a case against top leaders of banned Baloch Liberation Front for the murder of 20 construction workers on Sunday in southwestern Balochistan. This was one of the biggest attacks on migrant workers in the insurgency-hit province.
Police on Sunday registered an FIR against PLF chief Dr. Allah Nazar and its spokesman Gohram Baloch after an application by a labourer who was injured in the gun attack. This comes as the 7 families whose breadwinners became victims of the gruesome attack continue to come to terms with the loss. Assailants opened fire at the construction company's camp in Gogdan area, some 9 miles from Turbat town, while the laborers were sleeping on Saturday night. Somber relatives and fellow villagers held prayers and buried 5 workers in Tharparkar on Sunday. Those killed did not belong to Balochistan. While 16 hailed from Punjab, 4 came from Sindh province. The BLF, which claimed responsibility for the incident, said it was a reprisal for the ongoing military operations in the area. The group has warned of more such attacks. Balochistan is plagued by violence, with separatists seeking greater control over the province's gas and mineral resources.
Tennis ace Sania Mirza on Sunday attained yet another feat of becoming the first Indian woman to achieve the world #1 ranking in doubles.
Sania Mirza made history after clinching last weekend's WTA Family Circle Cup title with her Swiss partner and former world #1 singles player Martina Hingis. That was the duo's 3rd straight victory following earlier successes at Indian Wells and Miami. Mirza is the first Indian woman to achieve the top ranking milestone. She now shares the honour alongside Leander Paes and Mahesh Bhupati, 2 men who dominated the doubles circuit in the 1990s.
I think in a fiercely competitive game like tennis, where more than 210 nations are playing, Sania becoming the world #1 is, I think, perhaps one of the greatest achievements for any Indian woman sports person in the history of Indian sports.
Mirza has won 21 WTA doubles titles in her career with 12 different partners. She is also the first Indian woman to win a Grand Slam mixed doubles. Indian tennis enthusiasts are hoping that the 27-year-old will now set her sights on a women's doubles Grand Slam victory.
भारतीय टेनिस के लिए बहुत ही अच्छी खबर है ये कि पहली महिला हैं जो विश्व की नंबर 1 बनी हैं, तो हम सब बहुत खुश हैं और आशा रखते हैं कि वो आगे जाकर अब ग्रैंड स्लैम भी जीते हैं विमेंस डबल्स में.
But before Mirza targets another major win, her immediate focus will be to lead India's Fed Cup side in the Group 2 Asia Oceania in Hyderabad this week.
They can be your best friends. They can even follow your minutest instructions. Take a look at how these mean machines enthralled with their unique skills.
While some match dance steps to the musical notes, others showcase their tennis prowess. Hundreds of robots left visitors awestruck at the special festival in India's southern tech hub, Bengaluru. Students, professionals and science enthusiasts from all across the country thronged the RoboFest to see these machines talk, walk and play. The annual exhibition was held to motivate young minds to create and design their own robots.
This robot is basically for educational purpose, for research and development, and everybody can use this robot from school, colleges, universities, IIT and IT people. And till now we have more than around 30 installations in India, and this is really very useful for the students to create and design their own robotics.
School kids stole the show as they exhibited how robots can be used for various purposes, from security of the country to doing domestic chores.
हमारे पास बहुत सारे हैं, जैसे आर्म रोबोट है, हम वो यूज़ कर सकते हैं डिफेंस के लिए, बम डिफ्यूजिंग ऑपरेशन के लिए यूज़ कर सकते हैं, मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट में यूज़ कर सकते हैं और बहुत जगह यूज़ कर सकते हैं.
Although robotics is a mushrooming technology in India, the IT firms are pushing ahead to bring a revolution in this field and make use of it in various sectors.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Prime Minister Modi bats for his Make in India campaign at Hannover Messe. Jamaat observed shutdown in Bangladesh to protest Kamaruzzaman's hanging. And Pakistan court sets 2-month deadline for completion of 26/11 trial. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.